Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? This is Amanda. Hope you're good. So today is the 2nd of September, and I'm going to be doing a reading for the month ahead. I've got a number of different themes already that have been given to me by Spirit, but we will also probably go off script like I always do. We're going to talk about, I'm hearing something that you don't see coming, okay? Something that we don't see coming. I'm going to ask about what that is. Although nature of the beast is, it feels as though it's slightly cloaked, but we'll have a look at what that could be, something that you don't see coming. I'm going to look at, I want to do a discussion on when we act and we talk and we behave consciously as opposed to unconsciously, prompted by an Eckhart Tolle video actually that I was listening to the other day, which really got me thinking how important this subject is. I want to talk about nourishment, and I want to talk about uncomfortable change. And I'm going to pull some cards from two decks that are, I find more challenging to read with. The Wisdom of the Hidden Realms deck by Colette Baron Reid and the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck by Kim Krantz. Both great decks, but there's something in the fact that they always feel as though they stretch me. And it feels as though they're probably symptomatic of this month stretching us, challenging us, but that actually is where the growth is. Also to say, you're going to hear planes overhead in this video because this is the first day of the Bournemouth Air Festival. So we have planes flying over all of the time. So let's get to it. Also, I just want to say as well before we kick off, I've just done a 15-minute video which is on Instagram. Those of you that are not on Instagram, my page is called Angelic Celestial Colours. I've got nearly 30,000 followers on there, and I only say that so you know you're on the official page, because there are other pages that are scammers that just contact you to say, do you want a reading? It's not me. But the video I've just done for Instagram, which I'm not going to post up on YouTube, I'm sorry, I just don't have the time to cross-post across all of social media, is linked into travel and when the world may open up again, linked into people that have not had the jab. It's actually quite encouraging news, and it was a download I received about that. So hop on over to Instagram if you're interested in hearing what that was all about. Let us now focus on September and the month ahead. I have to say that I haven't really looked too much at the astrology because there's plenty of great astrologers out there. Welcome back, my friend Steve Judge, as well to YouTube. Lovely to see him back yesterday. But yeah, there's lots of astrologers you can watch. But the point is, I do know we've got lots of planets about to go back into retrograde. And I do also know that we're in Virgo season. And I don't know, it feels really good. I feel as though I want to say we're in safe hands. Whatever happens in Virgo season, whatever happens in the month of September, it feels as though we're in good hands. And by that, I'm talking Spirit's hands. So that might make more sense towards the end of the month, but we'll see. I'd like to just pull a few cards here linked into the first thing that I heard for September, which is it's something that you don't see coming. Let me just grab the spray. Which one would be the question? I'm going to go for the rose gold Stellar Gateway Chakra Spray. By nature of the beast, Stellar Gateway is the chakra that is furthest out of the body. So it's as though something comes in from here or here that we don't quite see. I mean, even to the point, guys, that I've got my little ultimat here that I, pull my cards on. It looks like this, okay? And you can either have an upside down triangle or a, you can have the triangle upside down or not. But today I was wanting to put it to the side. I was wanting to do this, or I was wanting to do it the other way. It's as though there's something that comes in from here or something that comes in from there. It's coming in from an unexpected source. Now, I also think it's more than one thing that we're talking about. So yes, I do think this could be something linked into the environment in terms of, I know we've had big solar storms going on, haven't we, in the last few days. But it also, as I'm talking about, I'm also feeling something coming up from the earth. It doesn't have to be earthquake. It can just be the Schumman resonance. It's as though I'm seeing lots of spikes on the Schumman resonance, but I'm also seeing lots of flares coming in here and there. But there's something else coming in that we can't quite see, and something that is cloaked. And it feels as though it comes in very quickly, faster than the speed of light is what I'm hearing. So, yeah, I mean, that could be so many things, couldn't it? I don't know whether there's anybody that is on a meteor watch. That could be something to look for. And no, I'm not into some doomsday scenario that the whole world's about to be wiped out by a big meteor. I just mean we may have some meteors coming in to our planet in September, which arrive from very far. I mean, they're all very far off places, but I'm feeling even further than normal. It's as though these meteorites have been traveling for many, many, many years to reach us at this precise moment. And I'm hearing that they bring coded information and coded energy. I'm actually feeling they're almost like an arrowhead. It's almost like the meteorites are like an arrowhead, and they pierce the veil is what I'm hearing. They pierce the veil and they penetrate the Earth's crust, and they and then I'm seeing just like, this is all symbolic, but like a meadow of flowers. So it's as though they arrive somewhere on our planet where there is great heaviness and challenge, and they bring in beauty and light and abundance. They seed it. It's as though they're very powerful seeds. It also feels as though we have some very speedy births coming. So for those of you that are pregnant, can you just watch for that? Make sure you've got your bag properly, ready at the front door. Don't just leave it until your due date in terms of, I've got my bag and I'm ready to go to the hospital whenever I need to. Make sure you've got your bag ready a couple of weeks in advance, I'm hearing, because I feel as though some of the new children that are coming in are wanting to come in quicker than we think. So this also is conception as well, I'm hearing. So if you don't want to get pregnant, make sure you're taking, precautions for that not to happen. But I'm feeling as though there's also going to be some unexpected pregnancies this month as well, tied into this as well. So it's even if you have taken precautions, I'm feeling that certain things may break or pierce through, or whatever. I don't know. If you really don't want to have a child and you're very sexually active, make sure you're doubling down on protection is what I'm seeing. And without being crude, I'm seeing like a double sheath. It's literally like, I mean, don't do that because you probably hurt yourself. But it's just be careful, be mindful, okay? This feels a very, where all this channeling is coming from, it feels a very fruitful month in terms of seeds of the loin. And it's like there's a lot of very potent men out there, okay, is what I'm hearing. And there's a lot of very fertile women. In all seriousness, there's a lot of fertility. So great if you want it, but if you don't want the patter of tiny feet, maybe just, be a little bit cautious. You don't need to go off and, abstain, but just, I've probably said enough there. Okay. So yeah, that's coming in quickly for some. Birth is coming in quickly for some. Meteorites feel as though they're coming in quickly. Schumman is coming up. Thank God we've got some earthy energy of Virgo, I want to say, after all of that. We've got to really remain grounded. I haven't even done the spray yet. Let me just have a bit of coffee to ground before I do that. Pausing is really important at the moment, because it's as though September's going to be a month where we get great flashes of inspiration and ideas that, again, come in from nowhere. And it's literally like I'm seeing us we needing to walk around with a notepad, because if you don't capture it and put it down when it arrives, I don't know if you're like me, you forget it, because there's something else that then comes in. So in all seriousness, it feels a very rich month as well for inspiration. If you're a creative person, if you're a writer, if you're an artist, or if you're a musician, if you're a poet, whatever, it's as though there are words, there are melodies, there are vibrations, there are colours, there are compositions that are arriving from a very far off place. But I'm also now hearing the far off place is within yourself, okay? So it's as though we're able to access hidden chambers of ourself this September, and really plumb the riches of the resources that we have within ourselves. And I'm feeling, actually, this is really lovely, the vibration that I'm in now, because for those that this is applying to, it feels very vibrant and it feels very joyful. And it's as though I'm being shown a kid's box of toys, but it's like you're the kid. And it's like I don't know if you ever did this. I think I did it. It's like, you've got like a great aunt or your mum has got a great big box of dressing up clothes. And you're diving into it and you're playing with this and you're taking that out. And today I'm going to be a pirate and tomorrow I'm going to be a princess. And, now I'm going to dress up as whatever. But it's to do with changing costumes. It's in terms of persona, trying on different things. If you get a flash of inspiration, follow it, do it. Try it on for size. If it doesn't fit or you don't like it, you don't have to keep it. But the worst thing that you can do through this month of September is stagnation. So I'm now being shown the opposite energy of all of this quite fun, fertile, playful, fruitful, abundant energy. And it's the stagnant pool, okay? Who wants to be sitting around the stagnant pool? Because I tell you what I'm seeing, it's like some people are choosing to sit around that stagnant pool. And it's a pool and it's got loads of flies and the water's all gunky and a bit smelly and stagnant because nobody's been cleaning it. But some people are still fishing in that stagnant pool and they're expecting like a great big catch to come out of it. The stagnant pool represents complacency, apathy, not wanting to change, not wanting to try new things. Worst case scenario mindset, negative thinking. Oh, there's no point, no one wants to. As I'm saying that, some of the people I'm seeing around it are getting up and leaving because it's almost as though they're hearing that there is another alternative over here. Come over here to the dressing up box, okay? It's also to do with. Oh, hold on, there was another strand of energy there. It just came and went. And I'll tell you why it came and went. It was because I suddenly went into my mind and I was trying to think, who is this that's talking through me? Because it doesn't feel like Metatron. And I was thinking, is it Merlin? And what that did was then it totally cut where that flow. So this is also about don't go into your head too much. Don't go into your mind. Don't try and suss it all out and work out exactly what's going on. Just play, just flow. Live from minute to minute, moment to moment. Stop planning everything for, 3 weeks in advance, what you're going to be doing in 6 months, what you're doing next year. All we can be doing at the moment is living in the present moment and trying to benefit and experience the best of what it can be. And you either have the choice of being around the stagnant pool where not much is going on at all, and you can keep your fishing rod in there for as long as possible with the biggest bait, but you're only ever going to get a tiddler, is what I'm hearing. Okay, go to the dressing up box. That's where the magic is. And yeah, now I've now got the strand of energy back. It's linking into also trying out different aspects and personas within ourselves. It's got something to do with the male and female energy that we all have within us as well. And I've talked about this before on previous videos. It's linked into the fact that, if we very much identified with having an overtly masculine energy, for example, whether you're a man or you're a woman, maybe mix that up a bit and dip into your feminine side more. If you're a man or a woman that's more in tune with your feminine side, maybe just put that back in the box this month and bring out your masculine energy and play with that. What does your masculine energy want to do? What does your feminine energy want to do? What does your inner child want to do? The other thing I was thinking about as well, which is tied into this energy strand that I'm in here, is the thing about when we act as the parent, whether you are a parent or not, the grown-up, the adult, versus this more childlike energy that we all have within us. So it really feels as though September, whatever else is going on around the world, in our own inner world, there is enormous riches. There is the opportunity to really try new things out. And yeah, okay, I'm not channeling her today, but I'm sitting here and I'm realizing that I'm also, this is on my desk. Those of you that know I'm about to channel her. So yes, channeling takes an enormous amount of energy. Those people that are channelers understand that. You've really got to have the day and the space and the time to do it. But I'm getting to know her very well. And I tell you what, I want to wear flowers in my hair. I might do that for her video. I've also been tuning into songs over the last few days, and this again feels as though it's linked into the energy of September. I keep playing If You're Coming, excuse my to San Francisco, some flowers in your hair. That song, I just keep hearing that over and over again. And I'm playing it over and over again. Was it Scott McKenzie? Anyway, it's just a beautiful song. It's that 60s vibe. You know, it's the flower power energy. We need the flower power energy back. And how interesting that when I was seeing the meteorites that are going to be coming in, the impact that they have was a meadow of flowers. And I'm realizing now it's actually tied into the energy of this. Creativity, eccentricity, being a bit different, standing out from the crowd, flower power, bringing that back, being quirky. Got the energy of Mark Bolan here now as well, you know. Again, yeah, it is. It's the energy of people like Mark Bolan. You know, it's like mix it up a bit. If you want to wear a bit of eyeshadow, wear a bit of eyeshadow. If you want, it's not about the eyeshadow, but it's just about breaking out of the box. Okay, breaking out of the box. Beautiful energy. Lovely. Maybe that's what we don't see coming. Maybe the world has just got so, rigid and boring and dull, and like you can't do this and you can't go there. And have you now heard about this new strain that's arriving? What is it, Moo or something? Oh, God's sake. I'm sorry, but no, come on. I'm still going to live my best life. I'm still going to live my best life. I'm going to enjoy this life. I might only be here for another 30 years. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not investing in this other world that you're trying to bring in, which is just conformity and do as you're told and sit here and don't sit there and you're allowed there and you're not allowed here, and this is, it's the antithesis of that. It's like the flower power, and I'm now being shown the flowers, which are us. We've got these great big roots. It's like the sunflower. In fact, one of my daughters said to me when I bought these, she said, "My God," she said, why are their stalks so big? Have you ever seen how the stalk is huge on a sunflower? Why is it so huge? Because the flower is huge. It needs the long, stalk. It needs the roots. So yeah, let's just look at the sunflower. Let's be like the sunflower. Stick that in your bloody hair, Honestly, guys, it's like we've got to break out of this monotony, I'll quote a bit of Soft Cell at you now. It's that whole song which I've monoculture. Monoculture, everything the same over and over again. Every town looks the same, We're all doing the same thing. No, I think that what I'm tuning into here, this energy, wherever the hell this is coming from, I think it is a bit of Merlin. It's like, stop in the name of love, I'm hearing. Was that Diana Ross? It feels like this is the whole Heart Squad, actually, that I'm channeling. It's like the whole collective Heart Squad. Stop in the name of love. What are we doing? Come on. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy, this, that I'm feeling. I hope you can feel it through me as well. Brilliant. Okay. Well, that's put a smile on our face, hasn't it? Wasn't expecting that for September. I'm sure there's going to be some other messages as well, but let's just take that for the moment, shall we? Let's just take these pockets of joy and happiness and ease when they come in. And yeah, it does feel as though, Heart Squad energy. I channel the Heart Squad. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at my playlists. Whole load of people I've channeled. They are here to bring the joy. And yeah, the sunflowers, it's George Harrison, isn't it? That's what we channeled with George. So cheers, Elvis. Let's just finish my coffee and then I'm going to pull some cards. Something you don't see coming. Maybe the world's going to start smiling again. But for the world to start smiling again and looking up, we need to be like the sunflower. We need to be capable of poking our head above the fence and say, actually, even though it's looking really not great down here, I'm okay. I'm still smiling. I'm holding the energy of positivity. because it's my life and I choose to do that. Okay, it's having that choice to do that. We all have a choice every day. And yeah, I know lots of you at the moment are feeling down and depressed. I honestly, I get it, guys. I have moments like that as well. Believe you me, I have moments like that. I get it. But when we have this energy that comes in from nowhere, let's smile and let's say thank you to Spirit for bringing it. Okay. But definitely the children as well are going to be helping as well. But the colours as well. Going back to Frida, I was walking through my town the other day and I was thinking, yeah, I need to channel Frida at some point. And that was the only thing that was in my head. And at that moment, an older lady walked beside me or came in front of me. When I say old, I've always got to be careful, but I won't say what age maybe she was. But I suppose she was in her 80s. 80s is getting a bit older, let's be honest. You're still alive, of course, but you're on the older spectrum. She was probably in her 80s, but the point was, she came past me. She was dressed, actually she was wearing this colour, I'm realising I'm doing it. She was dressed in bright fuchsia, like Frida, and purple. And her shoes were purple, and she just looked great. And I thought, yep, Soul Tribe, And I'm sure she sort of lightened the whole vibration of the town. Everybody else in their greys, looking down at the ground. We need to be like the flowers today. Okay. Yeah, because as I say that, your phone flashes with some horrendous news coming in. It's going on all of the time and it will continue, but we've got to keep on smiling. Right, let's pull some cards. I'm being told to use this deck, so let's go for the wild unknown archetypes. What is the message, please, that might be totally related to what I've just said, or it might be something else, for September? September's energy. The first card out is the tear. And what I'm hearing with that is, I can't remember who said it, or I'm probably paraphrasing it. I'm hearing laugh and the world laughs with you, cry and the world cries with you, something like that. But anyway, that's what I'm hearing, okay? Misery loves company is what I'm hearing. So we're back to the stagnant pool. Misery loves company. This isn't people that maybe are grieving or something like that. That is different. That's grief. That's loss. I'm talking about the glass half empty type people. Misery loves company. Do you want to be with the misery loves company people? No, I don't. I want to be with the positive people. Bit of a challenging message, but I'm hearing some people wear their misery as a badge of honour. They do. I'm sorry, but they do. They do. And I know people like that. Okay? Are you wearing your badge of misery as a badge of honour? I've gone through this. This has happened to me in my life. Poor me, it's victimhood. We've all had horrible things happen to us in our life. We've all been left. We've all been betrayed. We've all had losses. We've all had degrees of ill health. We've all, lost people that we love, etc. Some have it worse than others. Yes, I get that. But you have a choice. Do you want to sit round that stagnant pool, thinking about that, wallowing in that? Or do you want to sit in this energy? And this is the Maiden. And Virgo is linked into the Virgin, isn't it? The Maiden, Mother Mary energy as well. And this is to do with, it's the antithesis of this. I mean, just look at the colours. The colours say it all. From these dark black energy, we've got a little bit of black, but we've got the fuchsia again. We've got the fuchsia, we've got the bright orange, we've got the white, we've got the gold. This is the promise of new life. The sensitivity there, the sensuality as well, the hand on the body, the maiden, the rose. Okay. Do you want to sit? Okay, I'm hearing, do you want to sit around the stagnant pool or do you want to sit in the rose garden? Okay. Do you want to sit in the rose garden? And to sit in the rose garden is to experience the beauty that this world has to offer. It's not about money. It's not about people, even relationships that you have. It's not about what you have materially. It's about sitting and literally smelling the roses, smelling the ocean, smelling that beautiful smell when it's just rained, you know, and you can smell foliage when it's wet. Okay. The smells of nature, basically, you know, are beautiful. Well, not all of them are. Most of them are. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. That's the garden I want to sit in. I'd even prefer to sit in the rose garden with the fertilizer, because I know there's going to be beautiful new life that comes with the rose rather than the stagnant pool. What else? September. What goes with the Maiden? The sword. Yeah. Look at that. Okay, so we've got the sword and we've got the destroyer. What goes with the Maiden? The sword and the destroyer. To me, this is very clear cut. If you look at that card, the sword, can you see it is an algorithm, if that's the right way of putting it, of these two cards together? You've got two choices. Dark, stagnant energy. And look who wants to keep you in that. The destroyer. Okay, look who wants to keep you in that. That's like the devil energy. Okay, that's a dark energy. And who wants to bring you into this beautiful harmony and love energy? It's the Maiden, it's Mother Mary. Let's just get the Mother Mary spray, shall we? Right. Let's bring Mary in. Because can you see what I'm saying? You can understand it. Okay, so to me it's just two choices. To sink into the worst or to sink into the best. Let's bring Mary in. The sword. Night and day. Light and dark. Mother Mary. Beautiful colours in that. I'll put my scarf over my head. That's what she's asking me to do. Mother Mary, yeah. Mother Mary. Okay. More than anything, I'm feeling her energy, and it's the energy of the wise woman in a world of inexperience. And what I mean by that is that she's showing me the very small, tiny green shoots that are existing in our world at the moment, and we are the green shoots. Because we're trying to birth new earth amongst the noise, amongst the chaos, amongst the fear, amongst many people trying to hang on to old earth. We're trying to birth this new earth. And it's very delicate and fragile, but it is strong as well. And she has this energy today of just a wise pair of old shoulders that we can fall back into. She's not actually showing me herself as the young maiden. She's showing me herself as the older woman. And from memory, I can't remember. Well, she's showing me herself as an older woman, a much older woman than she's ever shown me herself before. Stay safe, my child. Stay well, my child. Stay whole, my child. Stay in love, my child. Stay together, my child. Stay strong, my child. Stay in peace, my child. Stay united, my child. Keep him stay together, my child. It's as though there's an energy of gathering her children into the garden. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's like she's gathering us into the garden. So let's just spend a moment in the garden. That's what she's wanting to do. And she's showing it to me as a rose garden. It's a beautiful rose garden. It's a walled garden. And she's standing at the top of the walled garden, all these roses in Mary's garden. And all I can see is a huge group of people, us, crowds and crowds of people coming into the garden. And it never gets that crowded. There's room for everybody. And it's as though there is this great big caravan of people who are just coming into her garden and who are going to the flowers, going to the energy there, going to her scent, going to her embrace, and receiving sustenance and comfort from being not just with her, but with each other. And she's saying, look how strong the family is. The new earth family is. Look how many of you there are in this garden. You're coming from all walks of life. You're all ages. You're all nationalities. You're all colours. You're all creeds. You're all different, but you're all in. Again, it's like coming back into the garden. There's a song I'm hearing. It's not my generation, but is it Joni Mitchell? Got to get back into the garden. Got to get back into the garden. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. Let's see if I can pull up the lyrics for that song because it feels appropriate. I think it was Joni Mitchell. Let me just pause my camera. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's Woodstock. The film, the song is called Woodstock. We are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. Then I can walk beside you. I have come here to lose the smog, and I feel to be a cog in something turning. Or maybe it's just the time of year, or maybe it's the time of man. I don't know who I am, but you know life is for learning. By the time we got to Woodstock, we were 500,000 strong, and everywhere there was song and celebration. And I dreamed I saw the bombers riding shotgun in the sky, and they were turning into butterflies above our nation. We are stardust, billion-year-old carbon. We are golden, caught in the devil's bargain, and we've got to get ourselves back into the garden. Wow. Wow. I was 2 when that came out. I felt that in my bones. I can feel the vibration of those lyrics in my bones. I've said before, I was born Summer of Love. I was born 1967, so I'm like a Woodstock baby. Although my parents weren't there, but it's like I feel that in my soul. I feel that, and it's like I'm now in my 50s, and I wasn't at Woodstock. Some of you might have been. I wasn't, but I feel it. It's like a calling back into the garden. That's what all this is about this September. Oh my God, it's beautiful. How beautiful is that? Maybe I'm just an old hippie. We've got to be old hippies. Oh God, how beautiful is that? Because that's the alternative. That is the alternative. If this wasn't a card I would use again, I would rip this up now. I want to rip it up, but I'm not going to because it'll be useful for another reading. But that's what needs to be done. Oh my God. You see, look at this card. I didn't understand that. I haven't shown you this card. I pulled it at the same time as the tear, the maiden, and the sword. I understand it now. That's it. It's the garden. It's the walls are pearls. Oh my God, the walls are pearls of the garden. What are pearls? Pearls are when, you know, they happen through adversity. You know, adversity creates pearls. Abrasion creates pearls. But then they're the most wonderful things. We've got pearls of wisdom within ourselves. We've got pearls of wisdom within ourselves, and the world needs our pearls of wisdom. The world needs us to shine. The world needs us to get back to that garden. Where is the garden? The garden is within yourself. Okay, the garden is within yourself. So, and it feels as though Mother Mary is the key to helping us get back into the garden. So every time you want to get back into that vibration, yeah, you can play the song, of course you can, but just go back into your heart, guys. Just go back into your heart, open the gates, and imagine that there is a beautiful garden within your heart, and see it filled with roses, and see yourself going and sitting down on a bench in God's garden, and then invite into that garden your tribe. But don't limit it. I was seeing a great big caravan of people, all nations, it's like, you are my brother, you are my sister. I didn't realise you were my brother. I didn't realise you were my sister. We have differences of opinion, but it's fine because you are my brother, you are my sister. Come and sit down beside me. It's the John Lennon and JFK channeling that I did, I don't know, over a year and a half ago, where John got us all to, you remember, he got us all to sit in Central Park in New York, effectively around this campfire, and we all had to sit in a circle, but we had to sit beside somebody that that was, not necessarily comfortable for us. Okay, somebody that we needed to build bridges with. Somebody who has got a difference of opinion, for example. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I'd like to talk now about, I suppose that leads me on a little bit to what I wanted to talk about change being uncomfortable sometimes. So let's just see if we can have a card on change being uncomfortable sometimes. Is there anything to say about change being uncomfortable sometimes? Okay, what I'm getting from these two cards, the Lady of the Gift and the Web Weaver, is both of them look as though they are spirit, who has literally been trying to weave or blow towards you some new opportunities, new people, new situations, new projects, whatever it is. Basically have been trying to bring in the winds of change to your life. But sometimes we resist it. Yeah, look at that. You see, it's got cosmos as well on the bottom of the deck. Cosmos. The cosmos, the great cosmos, has weaved a web and is trying to bring in some gifts for our world, but equally for you as an individual. But sometimes what I'm seeing is we do this. We cross our... It's like, no, but I want change, but I don't really want it. I want it, but I don't really want it. Change is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Because this is about withholding. It's like you're being asked to receive something, but you're withholding it. The universe is being generous. It's being generous. It's trying to gift something. And what I'm hearing is the gift is often coming in via great challenge. Remember the pearl. Okay, you become the pearl through adversity, through challenge, through tears, through abrasion. So it's as though the people around the stagnant pool are looking at the difficulties in their life and just thinking, oh God, how it's just totally it's just that, just going down and down and down. Whereas the people who are the pearls are looking at the challenge in their life at the moment and thinking, okay, well, this doesn't look good. Maybe I've lost my job, or I need to change my job. What the hell am I going to do? But the universe is trying to bring something else in if you would open up to receive it, okay? It's also about receiving, in terms of change, it's to do with vibration as well. All of our vibration at the moment is being rejigged, okay? And again, this is why we've got the solar flares, and we've got the Schumman, and we've got the meteorites. It's all about the planet is changing. We are changing. And again, we try and often hang on to our old behaviours. And often it's just habit. It can often just be habit. Well, I always do this at 5 o'clock in the evening, or I always, whatever. I often, I do like a glass of wine, as you know, I've often say that. And I'm not giving up wine, but, I got into the habit of like, well, it's 5 o'clock, I'll have my glass of wine, because that's my way I can relax during the day. And I've knocked it on the head recently. And I'm having like a glass of tonic water or something instead. And the biggest surprise is actually, it's like, I don't really miss the wine at all, actually. It's like, it was never, the tonic water is just fine. It's like, it was just a habit that I was clinging on to for whatever reason. And I was resistant to changing it. I don't even know why. Because I didn't want maybe a healthier energy to come in. It makes no rational sense. Remember what we were saying at the beginning of this video, switch off the mind, just adapt and flow and change, whether it's a habit, whether it's a behavior, whether it's a relationship, a job, because actually the universe is trying to bring you something here. But change can often be uncomfortable. Again, I'm not wishing to call anybody out, but I did notice, I've done the homeschooling video, and it's tanking in terms of views, because YouTube always tells you when your videos are doing badly. So, it hasn't had many views. It doesn't matter. It's not about the views, because actually Metatron had already said to me before I even recorded it, he said, this is going to be just for a few people who really need it. And I said, okay, that's absolutely fine. I don't mind if nobody watches it. Even if 3 people get something from that video and they change as a result of it, and you already have, because I've heard from you, brilliant, job done. But the point is, that, again, don't want to go on about the jab a lot, but the point is, if you go onto lots of other people's videos at the moment, everyone's up in arms about the fact that, the jab, for example, might be being brought in for children, and people are saying, right, well, I'm not having that. I'm bringing my children out of school. But then as soon as you put some guidance up in terms of, okay, well, this is how you could do it, no one watches it. And what Metatron is saying to me, it's because people think they want change, but they don't really want to do it a lot of the time, because it's like, it's too difficult. It is difficult. Change is difficult, because in the example, for example, of homeschooling, let's just take that as an example. It's only one example. It means you've got to change a lot of things in your life. Your family life is going to have to change and accommodate and adapt and be flexible. And it's like, well, I'm not, okay, I don't know if I really want to do that. I'm not judging anybody, but we have to realise as human beings, this is what we do. And we put up blocks the whole time, which is like, well, I thought I wanted, to get out of this job that I actually hate. And now there is an opportunity, but it's sort of better the devil, again, it's better the devil better the devil maybe I'll just stick with this because, in 10 years' time, I'm going to retire anyway. I'll just plod on. It's like, no, the universe is saying, no, there is something better on its way. Trust us. Trust us to be able to deliver it. Trust yourself to be able to fulfill it. But you're not going to be able to fulfill it sitting by that stagnant pool surrounded by misery loves company type people. And those people will be really, really triggered by what I'm saying now. It's like, so how, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I do know what I'm talking about. It's the choice between victimhood and it's the choice between sovereignty. That actually I am a divine being. I have magic and manifestation ability within me, and I can rise from the gutter. I know there's a few of you that have been homeless that watch me and, and now are doing whatever else in their life, and that's for you to say, well done, because that's the truth. We can all rise if we wish to. And some of you might be watching me now who are homeless, and I send you strength and love, and I'm telling you now you can do it. You can absolutely do it. Let's pull a card for those people that are feeling really, really downtrodden and as though they just can't. Okay, let's just pull a card for you from this deck. Okay, so this one's for you. Look at that card, the Survival Prince. I pulled that the other day on Instagram because it says it all. It's to do with, this is the energy of lack, okay? And it's a really weird one, because why would you want to hang on to lack, really, you know? But it's tied into the base chakra being really, really wounded. It's the fact that you have a view that God's garden that we were talking about earlier, somehow when you get to that, Mary's going to say, sorry, not for you, actually. It's for everybody else, but you're not worthy of it, or you're not entitled to it, you know? Whereas actually what she's saying is you would actually be given a pass to be front of the queue. You would be front of the queue if you just have the strength to put your hands up and say, right, I'm ready to change. Okay, I know it's not easy, guys. I know none of this is easy, but it is possible. Okay, because that's what I'm being shown. Mary bringing you to the front of the queue. Okay, the front of the queue. But it's when we let go of that survival type energy, which is actually, it says false promises, because it's keeping you trapped. It's an illusion, basically, that if I let go of this, I am literally, I'm going to die. I mean, that's basically what it is. When everything boils down to it, it's like, if I let go of that, I just die. You know, maybe not tomorrow, but that's what survival is. I will not be looked after. Just maybe there might be a Good Samaritan that comes in that surprises you. What were we talking about at the beginning? Something that you don't see coming. But the thing is, the Good Samaritan, for example, or that energy of the Good Samaritan, they don't come in unless you're at least looking up and looking as though you might need some help, which means you put your hand up, but not in a place of strength. You know, I'm ready, and it's about, I'm ready to change. That's what I mean by strength. I'm ready to change. And it's an inner call that comes forward. I'm ready to change. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that was that. Is there any other message from this deck for September? The River Queen. Flow, letting go, and natural movement. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's the vibration of this month. It is very flower power. It's like, yeah, man. You got to flow. Can't be rigid. Can't be rigid. Can't be, this is the way things are. No. You got to be like the flower that's very languid and, you know, stretches and finds the sun. That's what sunflowers do. They move to find the sun. If the sun moves, the sunflower moves. You follow the flow of the light. You follow the flow of the light. I don't do Tai Chi, but I feel like I want to do Tai Chi. It feels very like that, you know. Yeah, movement, languid movement. Okay, right, let's do a final card from, what is this? This is the Self-Love Oracle. Because again, another energy that I'm feeling very strongly for this month, I mean, it shouldn't just be for this month, it should be for all time, is nourishment. Okay, we need to be nourishing ourselves. Think of that sunflower. It is only nourished because it's had the sun and the rain and everything else to create its growth. It's also been nourished because it's been protected from, I don't know, the wind or whatever. So we have to nourish ourselves. We can't grow, however many opportunities the universe might present, even if you can't see them. Remember, some of this is cloaked. This thing about you don't see what's coming, there's a veil. And the veil is there because you have to trust it's coming. You know, it would be too easy if it was just like, well, I'm going to change job, but, you know, only when literally only when I literally can see exactly where I'm going to and the desk I'm going to be sitting at and the hours that I'm going to be working and what the contract looks like and who my boss looks like and what my workmate looks like and what the first project is that I'm going to be asked to do and where the toilets are and, you know, what time is coffee break. No, it doesn't work like that, does it? Okay. It's to do with putting your hand up and just saying, I'm ready for change, and then trusting. And then what is veiled becomes apparent. This, of course, can also apply to relationships. There's a lot of people at the moment waiting on love. And so again, that can apply to love as well. That's something that is cloaked, you can't quite yet see, but it's waiting in the wings is what I'm hearing. It's waiting in the wings. I'm feeling that really strongly because I'm actually feeling like there's somebody like they're limbering up in the wings. And well, if you've ever been on a stage or done public speaking, just that moment before you're invited to go up to the podium or wherever it is, I mean, from my perspective, I nearly pass out with fear, and I will always be like that. It's horrendous. But equally, that fear is actually excitement as well, because you do really want to do it, otherwise you wouldn't be there. And that's what I'm feeling. There's a few people limbering up in the wings for some of you that are watching, and this is lovely. I'm hearing they've got a bunch of flowers in their hand that they want to give you. How nice is that? How nice is that? Okay. So yeah, nourishment. We need to be nourishing ourselves. So this morning I woke up and I had a lie-in just for half an hour, and I just put my hands here. I always put my hands here. I'm talking here, higher heart, okay? Between your heart and your throat chakra, your higher heart. It's also, it's linked into the thymus, so it's to do with keeping yourself well as well. If you're giving out too much, this is very nourishing. You give back to yourself, okay? You give back to yourself. We've actually got a higher heart spray, which is jade. So let's bring this in at this point. Jade, okay. I hope I'm not going to offend you if you're watching me, because I'm not meaning to, but I'm going to say this story because it's actually very perfect. This spray is one of my favourites. It's got within it thyme, lemon, and might have ginger, I can't remember, but it's got quite a medicinal smell. I've always loved it, but I like the smell of thyme, okay? And I also love the taste of thyme. Somebody bought this recently and they complained to us and they said, it smells disgusting, and what the hell have you put thyme into it for? Because that's some horrible weed that grows, outside my kitchen window. Why are you choosing to put weeds into your sprays? And Tracy and I both looked at each other and thought, oh, wow, because to us, it's not a weed. It's not a weed. It's like, I'm not meaning to, slag this chap off. I'm trying to express the fact that weeds can be beautiful anyway, Something about God's garden here is to do with the fact that God's garden appreciates the weeds just as much as it does the flowers and the roses, okay? Everything in balance, the ecosystem, everything perfect. Anyway, it doesn't smell disgusting, it smells lovely. But anyway, let's get to this. Well, it did for him, but anyway. Right, higher heart chakra. One of my favourite colours. Okay. So what you do with that is you just, as I say, it's to me it's about nourishing. It's to do with protecting. It's like when you get ill, and you have lemon and thyme, don't you, in your tea. But yeah, just put your hands here and just allow God to work through them is what I'm hearing. Okay, God is in your hands. You have healer's hands. Whether you've done a training course or not, you have healer's hands. That is going by, but anyway, somebody's just reversing up my road really quickly with a truck full of something. So that's an old energy going out. Oh, interesting, yeah, because it's like letting go of something to receive. Right, let's pull a card. Nourishment. What do we want to say, Spirit? This is the Self-Love Oracle by Janet Tree. Use discernment, card number 23. Yeah, I can understand why this is, and we've got removed toxicity as well. That's why that truck was just going that way. It was like, you're getting out of my road, okay? And it went really quick as well. Something you don't see coming, maybe something leaving quickly as well. But this is to do with toxicity, people who are toxic, okay? Narratives that are toxic, maybe news that is toxic. It says, what the card says is, it's okay to question. There is no need to believe something that does not resonate for you. Personal truths can change as perspectives shift and expand. Now that's interesting as well, isn't it? As well, because it's saying what you don't see coming is linked into, you might have thought that this is the way things are, but then something else comes in to prove to you, actually, you thought that was the way it was, but actually you were wrong. And what we all have to be aware of is that our ego in that scenario usually screams and shouts and becomes like a toddler, has a toddler tantrum is what I'm hearing. Because the ego doesn't like to be proven wrong, but I thought that's the way it was. Well, your heart will basically say, yeah, but you just didn't know. You didn't know, you didn't understand. So it may very well be there are things that are revealed through September, which is like, whether it's you, whether it's the collective, which is like, hold on a minute, that doesn't make any sense. I thought it was that, but actually now you're saying it's this. So, again, what the message of the card is, it's saying personal truths can change as perspectives shift and expand. As we expand in our consciousness, as our mind becomes at least willing to leave the stagnant pool and go into the garden where, think about flower power. It was all to do with new ideas, new initiatives, new experiences. I'm not into hallucinogenic drugs. It's not about proving. It's not my thing. And I'm certainly not going to prove it on a YouTube channel. But, that's what people did as well. But it's new realities. I think you can see, what am I trying to say? You can see alternate realities by tuning into spirit. You don't need a drug. Okay, spirit is the drug, but a good drug because it's love. Got a bit of Roxy music coming in now. For God's sake, how many more references can I get in this video to music? Love is the drug. Great song. He's such a class act, Brian Ferry. Such a class act. So smooth. Something about his energy as well, which is what this thing, where is it? Where's the card of flow? Well, I had it a minute ago. I don't know where it's gone now. But the card of flow, just be a bit Brian Ferry-like, just like slide across the stage. Slide across the stage of life. Don't take it too seriously as well. It is very serious at the moment. I think that's why I've got this lighter vibration coming through today. That's what we have to counter this heavier, darker energy with, because the one thing the darker energy doesn't like in our world is to be laughed at. Okay, God's sake, they've got John Lennon now, because John Lennon said that. That was a really, really good quote of John's. Let me find it for you. Do you know the quote that I'm going to say about humour and John Lennon? His quote was, here we go. Right? This is John. When it gets down to having to use violence, then you are playing the system's game. The establishment will irritate you, pull your beard, to make you fight, because once they've got you violent, then they know how to handle you. The only thing they don't know how to handle is non-violence and humour. There's something in that. But what he means by that is it's keeping that light vibration. They don't know what to do with that. In the face of considerable adversity, if you just say, I'm not willing to play that game, I actually feel fine. Despite that, because I'm fine inside. I'm in Mary's garden. And why would I not be fine in Mary's garden? I hope today's message has helped. I think I'm going to leave it there because it just feels a very perfect place to leave it. I will just say the bottom card here that's just screaming at me to be included as well is evolve. And that feels very garden-like, evolve. Card number 16. And it says you are allowed to grow and to change your mind, to change your attitudes, to change your beliefs, and to become stronger, lighter, and happier. The right people will celebrate these changes with you. Okay? It's a month to let go of ego and the need to be right. And it's a month to just explore and flow and change and get into God's dressing up box with all of the goodies, which is available for everybody, not just the select few, for everybody. Well, I feel better after that. I hope you do too. I'm sure it's going to be a month where there's a challenge as well, and we will look at that as it comes, okay? And yeah, we've got some interesting astrological alignments as well, I know, and I will, I'll come back and we'll look at that. But for now, that's the message that wanted to come out today. Counteract the darkness with lightness. counteract the darkness within you with light. And keep your smile on your face, guys, okay? And be there for each other as well. Take care. I love you all very much. Bye-bye for now. Bye. Make sure you like the video so other people see it. Thank you. Bye. Bye.